So some of the things that Terrell did not learn, because he did not have brothers and sisters living in his house. He didn't know what it was like to have to share, be considerate of other people, etc. So he would come to my house, and if my mother cooked something or whatnot, he did not know how to take an amount of, let's say, chili. Let's say we were eating hot dogs or something. He would put so much chili on because he's only used to his mother, making his plate and, putting it in the room or whatever, and it'd be some huge amount of food on a plate, just for him. So when he came to my house, of course, this was another thing that would deter him from coming over. So you guys see what I'm saying? My house wasn't strict in a way that like we had no freedom or anything, but it was common sense that had to be applied. Not only common sense, but you had to be considerate of others. We had a house of 4 boys, including my dad. So you couldn't just eat every damn thing you wanted and stuff like that. In times when we did go overboard, we were punished for it, meaning my mom probably didn't buy the shit no more. Shout out to my stepmother again. I could say 1,000 things bad about this lady, but I could say probably 1,001 things good about, I wouldn't say 1,001. I would say I could say 1,001. I could say 1,000 things bad about her and a few things good about her, and that was one of the few/many things that she taught me. Was the fact that you just had to think about other people. It's not just you know what I'm saying. It's not just me. So now you kind of see how it was being raised in my house. And if you're a kid, their parents do drugs and so on and so forth. Yeah, my parents. But see, the thing was, my parents never told me not to be friends with him. My parents never told me not to be friends with anybody. They let me be friends with white people, black people, Mexicans. They never told me to do anything that I didn't want to do. They never told me that. Whether they meant to do that or not, but it gave me the opportunity to experience character, dealing with different people and stuff like that. And being a wrestling fan, for all the flack that it gets, as a kid, for me, it taught me character archetype, how somebody with a particular, physical features could give off give off the image of a bad guy or a good guy. You see what I'm saying? And this kind of drifted over into my, adult life, or just being able to recognize people's character in only a few minutes. Get a good read of them and whatnot. But that was something that was very that put him in an uncomfortable position, to come to my house and know that you had to abide by these rules. We had our freedoms, but so through being friends with this guy, this kid, he was responsible for me ever smoking weed. I don't think I've ever would have came across it or did it, because I would have never been in the environment when he did this. This was, I believe, the beginning of a bond that was very special. We went through a box of VHS tapes, DVDs, we probably watched 40 to 50% of movies that are considered like in the American lexicon of movies to watch. And I had a great time. I remember it like it was yesterday, the laughter. We naturally adapted to smoking weed, meaning it never became something that was just hurting us in a way that our parents would be disappointed, I guess you could say. Now, of course, all parents are disappointed when they find out their kids are smoking weed. All parents are. But it was that one thing about our friendship that I believe enhanced it, because he didn't play sports. I played sports. So when I would do stuff like quote a movie, he knew off the back, like, bro, you say it exactly the way they say it. And he really enjoyed that part about my personality, is the impressions, the making fun of, how me and him, we used to say, like, man, don't you just hate it when you do something funny and people tell you, do it again. It's like, no, it was good the first time. You can't do it. You can't request it and it'd be as funny, you know? And we used to just see eye to eye on that. We used to see eye to eye when it comes to when Madea's Family Reunion, all the plays came out. We were programmed with those plays. I'll say programmed because that's what it was. It seemed like a lot of homosexual behavior was pushed on the black community through Madea's Family Reunion, being that a lot of the guys would mimic Madea, and these guys were already borderline punks, and they end up getting more attention from girls and the older women in the church or in the community, and next thing you know, they're wearing G-strings. So but that was one thing about Madea. We were able to identify with all the characters. We had our little inside jokes. We had a whole bunch of them. And those jokes and things, they carried us for years, man. For years. Hey, mama. They carried us for years. And it really became something that I enjoyed about our friendship, because I didn't have this with my brothers. Hell to the no. I didn't have this with any other guy or anything like that. I really did have one friend my entire school life, and that was one thing that we identified with as well in the hip-hop community, was Trey the Truth and Zero. And he would compare himself to Zero all the time. Like, fuck all you hoes. I don't need none of y'all. And he was the most anti-Zero person you could meet. Like, you're very outgoing. I'm more of the Zero, and but I never debated him about that or anything. Just let him say it. And he became someone, like, when I was reading the Bible, it's like he was a brother that wasn't really my brother. He understood a lot of stuff I went through. Again, we wasn't raised to be like, oh, poor me, but instead it was when I would go to his house, they understood what I was going through at home, whether I wanted to admit it or not.